Welcome to the Insurance Revolutionized podcast brought to you by Success Without Sacrifice. I am your host and coach, Cherie Sauer, and here on the podcast, we are on a mission to revolutionize the way women in insurance do business. We will be interviewing women who are changing the face of insurance, as well as giving you tips and inspiration to grow your agency to new heights without sacrificing what is most important to you. Let's get started. Okay, friends, welcome back to the Insurance Revolutionized podcast. Today is the last day, the last episode of season 1 of the Insurance Revolutionized podcast. I'm so grateful for all of you who have been listening to the episodes, have left us reviews. For those of you who have been guests, for those of you who have shared on social media, who have messaged and commented us and replied that you're loving the show. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for being here with us on this journey. It's been so fun. I can't wait for season 2. We have lots of good stuff coming up in season 2. If you are listening to this and you've never been a guest on the show and you want to be on the show in season 2, we would love to have you apply. Reach out to us. You can actually find the link to apply in our show notes below. And yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around for season 1. It's been really, really fun. I've loved getting to know so many different women in insurance and the way that you're all making an impact. So I hope that if you've been a listener, that you've loved the show. If you have any feedback or things that you want to hear, people you want to hear from, we would love to hear from you. You can message us. You can email us. Find us on Instagram, Facebook. All of our links are in the show notes, and you can find us there. But today is day 3 of the Agency Owner to CEO Challenge. And I always say this is my favorite topic to talk about. Again, they're all my favorites, so it's hard to say that that's my favorite. But so day 1, we talked about your energy. You were given the task to do an energy assessment. Day 2 of the challenge was efficiency, and you were given a challenge to go through and rate and find all the things that you could outsource, whether that's life or business. Okay, and then really get clear on your zone of genius. And then today is ethos, mindset, and limiting beliefs. So if you missed the last 2 episodes, please go back and listen to those. This will make much more sense. But here's the thing. We all have subconscious limiting beliefs that keep us stuck, that hold us back, that prevent us from scaling or from living fulfilled lives or whatever that is. We all, every single one of us struggle. It doesn't matter what level of business you're at. It doesn't matter what level of income or revenue you're at. Every single person has subconscious beliefs and limiting beliefs that, kind of follow them along the way that you have to overcome in order to grow and scale. So, what does this have to do with the Agency Owner to CEO program and really stepping into that CEO? And the answer is everything, right? We talked about this in the last episode, but if you, in order to increase efficiency, in order to really step into and move into being in your zone of genius 80% of the time, you have to be willing to let some things go, right? That might mean you don't have control over some things. Those kind of things, those feel scary, especially as an agency owner, as a business owner. There's the weight of everything is on you, right? Your team members, your employees, there's a lot weighing on your shoulders. And so thinking about delegating, outsourcing, automating something feels scary because what if something goes wrong? What if an employee says something or does something wrong that represents your company in a bad light? Like, nobody wants that, right? So, when it comes to increasing your efficiency, to really stepping into that CEO role, we have to look at what are the limiting beliefs and the mindsets that are keeping you stuck in that zone of excellence. And usually it's fear. Sometimes it could be guilt. It could be a lot of times I find that a lot of our subconscious limiting beliefs, the ceilings that we hit, are from our childhood experiences, right? And so we have to really understand why a limiting belief is there. We first have to become aware of it. We have to understand why it's there, and then we have to figure out tools and ways to overcome them. Um, so I find that the biggest roadblock for women really stepping into that CEO role is some sort of limiting belief. It could even be, it might not even have anything to do with your zone of excellence. It could have to do with the fear of stepping into that like leadership role, the fear of stepping out of your business to work on your business, right? Because you're no longer like, maybe you're not servicing clients as much. And that can feel scary. Maybe you want to service clients more. Maybe you love to do that and you need to, bring in somebody else that can help in different ways. If you love to service clients and that's really what you love to do, maybe you need to bring in a CEO that can be the visionary, right? So there's lots of different ways to think about this and to look at this. Again, everybody is going to be different, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to your mindset and your limiting beliefs. Those are going to be the roadblocks. Those are going to be the things that are going to keep you stuck. Those are the things that you can't work through on your own because you're too close to it. You can't see it, right? You need an outside perspective. That's where coaches come in and consultants and therapists, and, therapists play a different role, but that's where coaches and consultants come in, is help guide you, help coach you, and help you see the potential that you maybe can't see within yourself. Just make things work more efficiently that maybe you're not able to see because you're too close to it. So that's what we do. Whether you choose to work with us or you choose to work with another business coach or somebody else, doesn't matter, right? The point is you need somebody else to come in and help you see the bigger picture, to help you get out of your own way, right? So a couple of things that you can do is if you are having, say you rated, we'll just use an easy one in life. Say you rated, like you hate cleaning your house or you hate cooking meals, but you feel bad outsourcing that, right? You feel bad hiring somebody to come in and clean your house. Okay. Well, why do you feel bad? Where is that stemming from? Who told you that you have to be the one to clean your house? Who told you that you have to be the one to cook healthy meals for your family? Who says that, right? Is it society? Was it the expectation because that's what your mom did or your grandma did or, whatever that is? I'll give you an example in my own life. When my kids were younger, I've never liked cooking. I don't really like meal planning. The whole process just like sucks my energy. So anytime that I can outsource it, I do, because it makes me grumpy. I'm not the type of person that's like, oh, I love cooking. And, I don't mind baking sometimes. I don't mind cooking, but it is the number one like stressor and energy drainer for me. But I used to have this limiting belief, that I was a bad mom if I didn't cook home cooked meals. I was a bad mom because I didn't love to garden. I didn't love to cook. I didn't love to do all those things. And the reason that I felt like I was a bad mom is not because anybody else put the expectation on me. It's because I remember my mom actually worked full time, and I remember her days off, she would cook like homemade spaghetti, and I would come in from school and it smelled so good, and I was like, I loved the days that my mom was off work because she was a good cook. She loved cooking. And so I felt guilty. I felt bad that I wasn't able to provide that experience for my kids. But when I really looked at it at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, well, would I rather be like grumpy and stressed and spend all my time in meal prepping and cooking, or would I rather have a healthy meal delivered by a company or provided by somebody else, and spend that extra time and energy with my kids? And when I had that perspective shift, that changed everything. right? So there's like these little things that we don't even realize are keeping us stuck, keep us like stuck in this mode of doing these things that we don't want to, but we feel like we have to or we should do, right? And then we become resentful of the people around us, whether it's our employees or our family or whatever it is. So, your mindset, your limiting beliefs, if you have these things that keep coming up for you, that you keep hitting the same roadblock over and over and over, that's a sign to pay attention, right? That's a sign that there's some sort of subconscious belief that you aren't aware of that you need to work through. So to wrap this up, we talked about the 3 pillars. So energy, efficient, ramp method. So if you've been listening to this podcast, you've heard me talk about the ramp method. If you haven't and you're not familiar with the ramp method, I would advise you to go back and listen. I can't remember what episode numbers they are, but they say the ramp method, and it will break that down and explain what the ramp method is. But really, the gist of it is the ramp method looks at the natural ebbs and flows of your business, of your industry, and we take all of this and we put it together in a framework that allows you to look at the big picture of whether it's a week, your day, your week, your month, your year, and we can look at it and say, okay, what are your really busy seasons and what are your slow seasons and what is going into each of those seasons, okay? So that's part of efficiency that I didn't talk about. But in your busy season, right, that's not the time to necessarily be out networking. That's not the time to be hiring. That's not the time to, hopefully you're not onboarding. Hopefully you've already done that, right? But when we get stuck in that putting out fires, we become reactive to our circumstances and not proactive. And the ramp method is really designed to help you be proactive and to give each thing within your life and your business a season to go in. Just like the sports season, just like the sports world, they have specific seasons where they do different things in order to help them hit peak performance without getting injured or burnout. Okay. It's the same thing for a business owner. And so that's what we do with the ramp method. So if this challenge has been helpful for you, I hope it has. I hope that you can just take it and run with it. But if you find that you're needing more support, you want help in this area, you really you're ready to grow and scale, but something needs to change. Or maybe you're resenting your business and you just want to throw the towel in, or you're just every day you just dread it, right? You're exhausted. And you want more time for yourself and the things that you want to do, I invite you to book a call with us. It's a 30-minute quick call. We'll chat about your business, learn about you. You can learn about us, and then we go from there. If it's a great fit, it is, and if it's not, that's okay. And we will give you some tips and tools, or some referrals to other people that we think that can help you best. Okay, so that is the wrap up of season 1. Again, thank you so much for all of you for being here. It's been such a pleasure. I've had such a blast, and I can't wait to be back for season 2. Have you ever wondered how women in insurance thrive in this male-dominated industry? Welcome to the Insurance Revolutionized podcast, brought to you by Success Without Sacrifice. I'm your host and coach, Cherie Sauer. I will be interviewing female innovators who are changing the face of insurance for women, as well as giving you tips and inspiration for reaching new heights in your business without sacrificing what is most important to you. Join us on this journey as we explore, encourage, inspire, and grow together.